Hey there, it's John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to another edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. Now, the big story for this week, the big headline, is we are in the middle of Shadows over Innistrad Pro Tour. So a lot of the standard decks that are being featured in that Pro Tour, and which will continue to be featured over the weekend, filtered to the top, are going to cause some volatility in the standard market. So we're already seeing some increases due to the changing and evolving metagame. Beyond standard, there's still a little bit of action going on in modern and legacy, especially due to reserve list cards in the legacy format. So let's jump in and see what's going on. We'll start off with the top 5 standard cards that have lost value this week, and we'll look at number 5, Ulvenwald Hydra, which lost $1.11 to $5. This card's turning out to be more of a commander card, which players that are in the market for this are looking for more of one-ofs. Because of that, it's not really going to hold its value at this point, I don't think, so it's probably going to continue to decline. Westvale Abbey coming in at number 4. Now this is seeing lots of play in standard right now. I think this is just normal fluctuation as more packs are getting open. As a matter of fact, the team that Luis Scott Vargas is on is running a deck that is featuring Westvale Abbey and doing very, very well. LSV spent a lot of time on camera so far during the Pro Tour, and that's going to ignite more excitement over this card. So I think this is going to go back up. Keep an eye on it. If you need copies, if you can pick one of these up for $9 to $11, it's probably not a bad deal at this point. Number 3, Archangel Avacyn losing $1.66 to $46.25. Now, this card has been hot. It's gone up quite a bit in the last couple weeks. And because of that, this is just normal fluctuation. It's just losing a little bit of its ground. Again, this is a card that's seeing tons of play at the Pro Tour. So don't feel like you need to sell your Avacyns. She'll be just fine and will continue to go up once we get past Pro Tour weekend. Number 2 is Arlinn Kord, losing $1.81 to $20.99. Another card that's seeing play in the Pro Tour as well as the standard meta right now. So again, normal fluctuation. Now, she's not going to see the same amount of play as, say, Avacyn for the most part, just because white is so dominant, but it's still going to be a highly played card. Coming in number 1 is Jace, Unraveler of Secrets, losing $1.82 to $12.14. Now, Jace will see play post-rotation. There's no doubt in my mind. So watch this card over the next few weeks. It'll probably continue to go down a little bit more, but for the most part, if you can get copies of Jace between $8 and $12, it's probably a good investment for the long term for standard. Alright, let's look at the top 5 cards that gained value this week. And coming in number 5 is Collected Company, going up $3.53 to $21.76. Probably not a huge surprise here because Bant Company decks have been on fire. I mean, they've been the breakout deck the first couple weeks of the new standard. However, we're seeing some variety now in decks in the Pro Tour, and even though Bant Company was the number 1 deck taken to the Pro Tour, it looks like there's some other decks out there that are outmaneuvering it. So Collected Company may be reaching its peak right now. It's still a good long-term investment because this is a card that's definitely playable in Modern and will see play for a long time to come. But if you're looking for short gain or short value, keep an eye on this one. At some point soon, you may want to sell these. Number 4 is Liliana, Heretical Healer, going up $4.13 to $24.99. Another card featured in the deck LSV is playing on camera this weekend quite a bit. So again, watch this to continue to see popularity. Number 3 is Dark Petition, seeing more and more play. Originally, this was just seeing play in Legacy and Storm decks, but this got up $4.47 to $5.74 as more decks are finding that it is a very good card in Standard as well. Number 2 is Pyromancer's Goggles, going up $4.78 to $14.40. This is continuing to see an increased amount of play as we go into the Standard season. It was starting out as part of a almost fringe blue-red control deck that we saw in the first Star City Games Open, but now it's growing and growing, and there's more versions of this blue-red control deck out there. As a matter of fact, Brad Nelson has been piloting a version of this deck that has done incredibly well through day 1, and it's using this card along with Tarka and just more blue-red control. So this is going to be a card that will continue to see play and continue to go up in value. And number 1 is Seasons Pass, going up $6.83 to $8.99. This is seeing a little bit of play in some Sultai decks in Standard. Now, this is a pretty big jump for this card. Keep an eye on it this weekend of the Pro Tour. If some of the Sultai decks do well, maybe one makes into the top 8, this card will probably continue to grow. But if they kind of fall to the wayside with some of the other decks out there, then this could go back down. All right, let's jump into Modern. Now, you're going to notice here when we look at the cards that lost value this week in Modern, they're all playable, good Modern cards. They're just cards that have recently seen spikes, so they're just stabilizing a little bit. It's not a whole lot for me to say about these. Coming in at number 5, Flagstones of Trocare. This one went down 209 to 25.25. Number 4, Grove of the Burn Willows, going down 211 to 72.94. Now this just keeps going up and down, basically between the $70 and $80 mark, but it just stays there. Number 3, Crucible of Worlds. This in particular, the 5th Dawn version, going down 263 to 66.52. Still an incredibly popular card. Number 2, Liliana of the Veil, going down 270 to 110.81. She's recently seen a pretty big spike. The thing with Liliana is this is another card that you don't really have to be fearful of it truly losing a whole lot of value. We know it's going to be reprinted at some point. Maybe it'll be Eternal Masters, maybe it'll be Modern Masters another year from now. But when it does, it's going to be a mythic and it's going to be in a limited release product. It's still going to hold its value. This is Horizon Canopy, going down 285 to 81.71. And this is a card that moves right along with Grove of the Burn Willows. Again, usually between a $70 and $80 card. Continues to grow even though it has moments of stabilization. Alright, let's look at the top 5 Modern cards that have gained value this week. Coming at number 5 is Glittering Wish, and this went up $3.10 to $10. This is seeing play in some Jeskai Ascendancy decks. As long as those decks continue to do well, this card I think will continue to grow. 4 is Celestial Colonnade. Now, this is seeing play in a number of different decks across the board. Basically, this card is designed for control decks, and with Ancestral Vision being unbanned recently, this card is definitely seeing some more momentum. It's gone up $3.11 to $33.49. Number 3 is Knight of the White Orchid, going up $3.72 to $8.09. Now, we know this was recently reprinted. Today we're looking at the Shards of Alara version of the card, and obviously, this is being driven more by Standard than it is Modern, and this has been a key card in the Green-White Humans deck, as well as the Mono-White deck in that format. Number 2 is Prismatic Omen, going up $3.95 to $16.50, and this one is seeing play in Scapeshift decks. Now, this is also a rare from Shadowmoor, and Shadowmoor was a set that didn't sell particularly well compared to other sets. And because of that, popular rares from that set usually gain value relatively quickly once they find a home. So keep an eye on this particular card. As well as number 1, Wheel of Sun and Moon, another Shadowmoor rare. This one went up $16.12 this week to $12.74, and this is seeing a fair amount of play in some Jeskai control builds, and I think players are beginning to really appreciate the different things this card can do even out of the sideboard. So I don't think this one's going to go down. Even though we saw a pretty big spike here, we might see a little bit of fluctuation, but I think this is a card that people are discovering is going to become more of a Modern staple in the future. Alright, let's move on to Legacy. So much like the Modern cards that lost value, the cards that we're going to look at today in Legacy are all reserve list cards that have recently seen a spike and are just stabilizing a little bit. Not a whole lot to say about them. Coming in number 5 is City of Traders, going down 260, still 128.73. Number 4, Lion's Eye Diamond, losing 293 to 131.08. Number 3 is the revised Underground Sea, losing $342 to $340.98. Number 2 is the revised Tropical Island, losing $396 to $221.71. And number 1 is the Unlimited Volcanic Island, losing $17.35, but still a healthy $420. Alright, so the cards that gained value this week in Legacy, again, these are cards that are going to look very familiar to you. These are cards that have been kind of on this roller coaster ride recently. Coming in number 5 is the Unlimited Plateau, going up $14.88 to $160.52. Number 4, Candelabra of Tawnos, going up $17.18 to $383.26. I think this is going to be one of those reserve list cards that continues to grow and do very well. Number 3 is the Unlimited Armageddon, going up $26.33 to $59. This has been up and down, up and down, up and down. If you're really in the market for an Armageddon, there's some cheaper options out there. I'd stay away from this, especially when it's on its high end. Same goes for this card, Winter Orb, going up $33.70 to $82.49. This again is the unlimited version, and it's kind of done the same thing as Armageddon recently. It goes up, goes back down. Again, don't pick it up when it's on its higher version, and there's other versions of this card out there that are cheaper. And finally, number 1 is the Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale. Now, this went up 120.51 this week to $900. However, this is a high-end card. Doesn't see a whole lot of purchases. This could have been one purchase driving this increase. So this basically is an $800 to $900 card. That's what you're going to be paying for it if you're in the market for it. But don't pay too much attention to these crazy fluctuations. All right, having said that, that's the Market Watch for this week. We'll be back next weekend. We'll get a better idea of what the Pro Tour has done to the landscape. But until then, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day.
Hey, thanks as always for watching. This video, like all my videos, was made possible by the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Even a donation of $1 helps me to keep growing this community and creating better quality videos for all of you. Check out our Patreon page for exclusive giveaways and future goals for the channel. If you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the MTG news, spoilers, set reviews, product openings, or finance videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a good day.